Hey, it's Coach Nick. I got a special guest with me, my good friend Morgan Johnson. You've heard me mention him on a few videos before. He's the guy responsible for teaching me the pivot prone, among some other fantastic exercises. He's going to show us what he does to build thoracic spine mobility. It's kind of a self-thoracic spine mobilization, I guess is what how you call it. Yep. It's a little bit different than what you might have seen some of the other guys like myself or Cressy using, and I personally like his variation better. So Morgan, I'm going to turn it over to you and show him what you got, bro.
Nick says, pretty much everybody's got their own variation for these. When it comes to mobilization or soft tissue work, there's really no right or wrong way. This is something I picked up that works well for me, something I teach my patients as well as clients. So the way I like to do this is basically we're going to
let's turn you like 45
set up on the foam roll here. And I like to kind of get people relaxed first with kind of their neck just resting on the bolster here. And then from here, I'm going to have them do a little bit of a bridge and just come up kind of onto the base of their shoulders a little bit. Okay, and what this does is it just gets them braced and using their core to help support them a little bit, get them in a good posture. And then I'm going to have them just kind of leave the fingers and set them up, over or underneath of the base of the skull here. That way, as we go through our mobilization, we're also getting a decent pec stretch. You're working on your upper quadrant flexibility a little bit. And basically, we're going to try to work level by level. I tell people, pay attention to their bodies, look for the parts where they feel the most resistance and spend a little bit more time there. But basically, from here in my bridge, I'm going to keep my head and shoulders level, and I'm going to drop my pelvis to the floor. Okay, so now I'm kind of fixing that proximal segment closer to the skull, and I'm working on getting some thoracic extension here. Obviously, the level that's resting on the bolster is the level that's kind of being blocked from motion. And then I'm going to come down a little bit further on my back. I'm going to drop my hips down. I can hold it for a 5 count, or I can do it for a 3-second or a 3-breath hold. Come back up to that neutral position. And the whole time, I want to keep my head and my shoulders back, so I'm maintaining that pec stretch, and I'm maintaining my head in that neutral position. And again, my pelvis is what's helping me roll back. And I'm going to work down. If I find a place that's kind of stiff, I may do a couple repetitions there before I move on down. And basically, I'm going to follow this pattern. And you just walk back with your feet. Drop your hips a little bit lower. But again, nothing above my level on the bolster is allowed to move, and that helps localize where that mobilization is occurring. I'm going to work down until I get to the lower part of the rib cage. And then I'm going to reverse it. And I can come back through, and I can just check each segment, see how much mobility I'm getting there. If anything feels stuck, I can work through it again. And then if you feel like there's other soft tissue stuff, you can go through your typical lumbar rolls. You can do your bias, side rolls, vice versa. But
yeah, and the other thing that's nice about what he's showing is you're getting some thoracic/hip disassociation. So instead of trying to substitute thoracic extension or a lack of thoracic extension for a lumbar extension, you're isolating your thoracic, and then you're teaching them how to extend from the thoracic and from the pelvis separately, so they build up separate control, which you need. Right?
Correct.
Okay, I appreciate it, man. That's awesome stuff. You'll be seeing a lot more.